Welcome back to Digital Media Insiders. I'm Laura Beamer. We're sitting here with Tyler Cartner. And my next question was going to be about these films that you're producing, Anchors, which is coming out later this year, and Turtle Island. What about the actors that you cast in those roles really sparked during the audition process?
Well, casting is a tricky process. I think for the success of your project, to be honest about it, you're looking for as much star power as you can get. We actually do look at IMDb Pro and ratings to see who's got what, and who's got what kind of a clout and that sort of thing. But, you also have to have an actress come in or an actor come in and read for the lines and see if you like them, see if they have a spark, and you have to think about how do they work, what's the chemistry with the other actors, and if you have two leads, you have to bring them in, have them read together and see how that works out. So that's important, but the reality is that when you're producing an independent film, you just want as much star power as you can get, and so it's kind of an unfortunate reality for up and coming actors. I think gone are the days of George Lucas casting for Star Wars, and I don't know how many people he saw or what the real number is, but I heard it was thousands. Like, he literally, sat down in casting sessions for thousands of actors. So that doesn't happen so much anymore, I think, and maybe that's unfortunate because you don't have as many struggling good actors out there that just haven't gotten their break, have an entryway into smaller indie films.
Do you work with particular casting directors, or do you kind of already know what
No,
you're looking for?
No, you always work with a casting director. So you find the best casting director that you can afford or that you have a relationship with, because they're going to have the connections, and they're going to have very quick, very fast and direct connections to the actors that you're looking at.
Oh, okay.
So, generally you start looking through, your casting director will suggest 4, 5, 6 people for the role, and then I'll sit down with co-producers and the director, and we'll start going through them and start looking at them and researching them and trying to find clips and say, this one for sure, nah, this one's not going to work in the role, and we just talk it through until we find somebody, and then we'll narrow it down, and then we'll throw the offers out to the table, have them come in and read. So that's part of it's part of the process.
For your films in particular, does the process change for supporting characters?
Yeah, I think the supporting characters it's not so critical, but it is just as important, because I think you want a certain standard, like a level of good acting in your movie, right? So you want to take just as much time casting your supporting roles.
And is it pretty unanimous between you and the rest of your production team who you want to cast as the lead?
Sometimes we fight and we try to convince each other one way or the other. I think this person would be perfect, and they're a little bit too masculine for the role. They have to have a little bit more vulnerability, or it's a gleam in their eye, or whatever. Yeah, we'll fight. You fight. That's what you do to create, something interesting, some kind of creative, trying to make art. That's what you're doing, right? So you're fighting for what you believe will make the best movie.
Just trying to convince each other.
That's right.
That your pick is the right pick.
That's right. And the director likes to think that they win most of the time. Sometimes the producers can win. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, so other than the IMDb star ranking, which sometimes you just can't help, you said you also do research online about articles and press.
Yeah.
Where do you look?
It's Google, right? It's where you start. So you type in the actor's name and see what you can find. Whether it's a television show that they've been on, or it's their actor's reel, or any kind of press that you can find on them, whether they have an article about them in Variety, or, you just want to find out as much information about that actor as possible before even considering them. Or is there dirt on them? Are they associated with some weird scandal or something? You want to know that before you extend a role, I think.
And when you're when these films are actually getting made, how much interaction do you have with the actors?
Quite a bit. It depends on your role. You know, the director obviously has the most interaction, but as a producer, you're also, you know, talking to the actors and talking to them about their performance and the day-to-days of what's happening in the film. And so it's, yeah, I think you're pretty involved in the producerial role.
That's super interesting. Well, now I'm just going to have to go home and click my IMDb page about 5,000 times. But thank you so much for chatting with me today. Very informational, and let's keep in touch.
All right.
Thanks
Happy to
so
do
much.
it. Mm-hmm.